Yo, yo, yo. What's up, chat? Good morning, good morning. What's going on, everybody? Hope your weekend's going well. It's good to see you. I don't know. Chill day today. Chill day. We'll be doing a little bit of some standalone Gwents and a little bit of Fall Guys, yeah? Some chillness. Some chillness. Um, Witcher is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. There's a little bit of molding. I'm just I'm trying to get to where I don't ride Roach very much. that's I think that's the main thing about it. But no Witcher this weekend besides, playing Gwent, playing Witcher cards. So we'll play an amount of Gwent, we'll play some Fall Guys, we'll have some chill times and just enjoy each other's company with some of that that type of gaming antics, yeah. And other than that, we'll hop into our gaming segment, gaming news segment here, and we'll get to it, man. I hope everybody's weekend is going very well. It's good to see you guys. Let's get over there and hop to it, yeah. See what we got for today. Video gaming news. Let's go. Cool. Um, we'll take a quick peek at this. I mean, we're kind of aware of what games are releasing coming up. Yeah. Gamer, my dude. What's up, buddy? Wick, let's hop to it, buddy. Wick, what's up, dude? How are you? What's up, guys? We kind of know what's coming, but we'll take a quick peek. All Steam Deck. Let's try that again. Take two. Take two. Oh man. Yeah. That's the. Thanks, Wick. Thanks, buddy. This is gonna be a good day, guys. It's gonna be a good day. All Steam Deck reservations will be fulfilled by the end of the year. Uh, let's take a look at that. That's the way I feel this morning too. I just feel like off, dude. I don't know. Woke up just feeling groggy, dude. Just I don't know, little bit of a headache, feeling groggy, and I was like, it's cool, man. It'll be all right. We got this. And then immediately, like, it was just such a great misspeak right there. Good night, dude. Uh, Escape from Tarkov voice actor calls out the game's cheating problem. Oh, dude. Good times. Oh, dude. Oh, man. All right, let's keep going. Valve's new art rules will change how games catch your attention, I think. That's weird. Let's see what that's about. A lot of that stuff we've seen. What? Bungie admits over half of Destiny 2's PvP matches are decided before a single shot is fired? Really? That's wild. Google denies rumor that Stadia is shutting down. Okay. We already read about that. TikTok is piloting. Looks like probably their first game inside their app. Look, if you're not aware, and we've gone over this, talked about this a lot as well, right? TikTok is doing the same thing that Netflix is doing, the same thing that so many other, especially companies that are already in entertainment side of business, right? That aren't necessarily in gaming are now dipping their toes, as it were. Netflix kind of diving right in there. They they see that there's a lot of money to be made in the gaming industry. They really want their piece of that pie, as it were, and they're trying to see what they can do about utilizing the brand name that they already have and the capital that they have to invest and pivot their already, substantial kind of standing in the entertainment industry into something that can also be utilized into the gaming realm, right? And while having a name to build off of and capital to invest in a gaming division or what have you is good to get you started, it by no means is a definitive thing that you're going to succeed in gaming. Gaming, and while we see industry, a lot of developers nowadays lean on titles that they've built such a fan base around, and they're not doing a great job as opposed to what they used to do. To get into the gaming industry and be successful, you have to produce some good content to begin with. That is an absolute definite. So, these companies like TikTok and Netflix, what they're doing is basically utilizing their app, the platform that they already have for media, entertainment, to also give people access to the games that they're developing and publishing, right? So, we'll take a look at this, see what this game is. And it'll just take time for us to see if companies like TikTok and Netflix are actually going to be able to produce anything that seems worthwhile to us as the consumer, right? As lovers of video games. Xbox's most anticipated game is a PlayStation exclusive. Okay. Awesome indie games on the way from Annapurna Interactive. Look, Annapurna is like just so if you're not familiar with Annapurna, Annapurna is the company behind Stray, right? And um, they are now in the limelight, as it were, because Stray has done so well. They are getting a lot of publicity because of how well that title is doing, and therefore everybody's kind of digging into what else they have coming, and appropriately. We'll take a quick look. We already know an amount of these titles that are coming, but we'll take a look. That way, if anybody is hanging out that might not be aware or is watching this later that isn't aware, they'll have an idea. Nearly 80% of all PS5 and PS4 games are bought digitally. Okay, take a look. Johnny Depp appears in new video game trailer. All right, let's pivot here. That's a lot of news for this morning already. I can't type. I can't talk. It's a morning. It's a morning. Oh, what? Okay. Uh, if you're not familiar with the analog pocket, we've talked about it a lot on this channel. We will talk about it more whenever we read this article, obviously. But the analog pocket is releasing a video game from 1962, Space War. Cool. God Killer video game adaptation announced. All that stuff we've really talked about. I I saw this article. This is what made me kind of chuckle a little bit. Does Twitch fame have to come with a stalker? No. But they act like it's a I don't know. Like I'm not gonna dive into this article. Look, that's not necessarily gaming news. Is it kind of pertinent because that's what this platform is that we're live on right now and our community's built around? Absolutely. Um, is it a problem quite often for many content creators and broadcasters that, especially ones that become fairly, renowned, well known. Yeah, for sure. Um, Look, I would say that it doesn't have to come with a stalker. No, but you can't always tell what's going on in other people's minds, right? As far as how they perceive a relationship to be. And I try to express quite often while, you know, um, how very fond I am of everybody within this community and how much I um, hold dear our relationship as being friends and you know it's a really special thing for me to have all of you to come here and hang out with every single day. Um, I don't know. I mean, each community is different. Quit stalking. Well, that's different. It's not the same. Okay, maybe it is. Um, each community has its own different kind of vibe, right? And um, I think that plays a part into the potential for people to maybe have a maybe a skewed idea of what the relationship is between themselves and the content creator or broadcaster and I don't know, man. It's I'll say it. I've heard some absolutely horrifying, like nightmare fuel stories about some stalker things that have happened to people, and I mean that's ultimately why I try to maintain a good semblance of privacy regarding private information and me and to a great extent because I do have a family, wife and kids, and want to try to stay as safe as possible. Not because I'm worried about our usual community members or anything, but just because people in general and there's always the potential for somebody to want to do harm, right? The stalker thing can get weird though. It can. I've heard some really, really, really crazy stuff. New Hogwarts Legacy video has a surprise for Hufflepuff. Let's go. Steam gives away a game with VR version for free. Okay. Free games, dude. We love them. Got a bit of some articles to get through today. That's all right though. And if they do, they better be careful. Because you know what might happen to somebody if they're trying to come after me, and then I've got an ear of corn. They might get that. Multiverses will nerf Bugs Bunny. What about Taz though? All right, we'll take a look. Analog Pocket just got its long-awaited jailbreak. Is that for real? We'll read both of these together. I was gonna say ASMR to death by me eating a cob of raw corn. I don't know what you guys were thinking, but that's what I was thinking. If they caught me and I had an ear of raw corn, obviously. Poor. That's actually a really good, gamer. I like it, dude. Nice. Nice, dude. Pretty good. Let's hop in here, dude. That was pretty good, man. I like it. Um, Valve's new art rules will change how games catch your eye. Yesterday, Valve issued an update for devs who sell on their storefront. Starting September 1st of this year, banner images referred to as capsules in Steamworks will be restricted from including a variety of accolades, current sales and more. In the announcement of the policy change, the House of Gordon Freeman states that the previous rules weren't defined well enough. Banner images are the equivalent of cover art on Steam. They're what you see in the listings on the store, and they're usually designed to get your attention as quickly as possible. That often means fancy art, a prominent main character, and the title in big stylized letters. But it's also been a place where developers indicate current sales, list rave reviews, show off any awards the game might have won, or simply let you know that there's new DLC or a seasonal update. Starting September 1st, however, developers will be allowed to indicate big updates, but they'll be prohibited from displaying numbers or other text that doesn't directly relate to the game. Valve shared news of this upcoming changes in an announcement on steamcommunity.com titled New Rules for Graphical Asset Capsules. The post details the company's desire to make things as clear and straightforward as possible for customers to find games to buy and play on Steam. For them, that doesn't include listing high review scores, award names, symbols, or logos, and absolutely no discount marketing copy. Content on base graphical asset capsules on Steam is limited to game artwork, the game name, and any official subtitle. For clarity, this means no review scores of any kind, including Steam reviews or external news sources, no award names, symbols, or logos, no discount marketing copy, ergo on sale now or up to 90% off text, No text or imagery promoting a different product. This includes no marketing of sequels or other titles in the same franchise. No other miscellaneous text. Images can be updated to notify customers of an update, such as a major DLC release or seasonal update popular with live service games. There are some restrictions for that as well, however. Said updates can only go live for a month using what Valve calls artwork overrides. Additionally, the text, which must only be used to describe the new content and nothing else, must be localized to whatever languages are supported by the game. For those who want to show off high review scores, Valve indicates that developers ought to follow the rules outlined in the store page accolades documentation on Steamworks. These are the accolades you see on a game-specific store page, often on the right side of the page, yeah. This rule change will likely help clear up some of the textual clutter that sometimes fills Steam, though it seems to be seen, to be seen how developers will respond to the new guidelines and how strict Valve will be in enforcing them when they go into place this September. Valve usually does a pretty good job at making sure that rules are enforced. So I would imagine they're going to do a pretty good job at making sure. But at the same time, quite often what will happen is in regards to these new kinds of incorporations for rules and stuff, developers will also on Steam find like loopholes or ways to like kind of work around the rules to use it to their benefit in a way that maybe Steam didn't see until a company does it, developer does it, and then they'll have to update the rules again. So there's a good possibility we'll see something like that happen as well. It's definitely happened in the past. Bungie admits over half of Destiny 2's control PvP matches are decided before a single shot is fired. Skill-based matchmaking is coming next season, and for good reason. Yesterday, Bungie announced the return of skill-based matchmaking, or SBMM, to Destiny 2's main PvP mode. In a This Week at Bungie blog post, the studio detailed upcoming changes to matchmaking with the addition of Lose SBMM to the Control playlist that will arrive at the launch of Season 18 on August 23rd. This is described as the first iteration of a larger matchmaking overhaul due to continue through Season 19. Presumably anticipating the inevitable backlash from PvP tryhards, the Sweat Lords, the lengthy post goes into granular detail about why this change is needed. In it, Bungie highlights just how big the gulf is between the best and worst players under the current connection-based matchmaking system. Here's the eye-opening stat. In Control, the skill disparities on a team can be stark. Over 50% of matches have a skill disparity of 900 or more between best and worst player, which is so significant that the outcome is already known before a single shot is fired. The skill number being referred to here is an internal stat that Bungie tracks, which seemingly takes account of everything from kills, deaths, and round wins to loadouts, right down to the mods you might have equipped, and reaction times. It's a 2,000 point scale, and Bungie says that once you get to a difference of 600, there is basically zero chance for the lower skilled player to ever win a 1v1 conflict. Wow. Previously, Control and other Destiny 2 PvP modes did have SBMM enabled. It proved controversial at the time, in part because Destiny 2 uses peer-to-peer connections over dedicated servers. Favoring skill over connection quality led to plenty of instances of lag, teleporting players, and missed shots. It also impacted players at the highest and lowest end of the skill spectrum with longer queue times. That said, I also got the sense that the backlash was, in part, stoked by influencers who make their living creating PvP compilations of kill streaks against lower skilled players. Ugh, that's gross. Flashy pub stomps with new seasonal weapons are much harder against players of equal skill, yeah. Already, content creators have started weighing in with opinions ranging from the reasonable to the borderline salty. I love this take right here from Frosty. Thank God for SBMM. Now these content creators can play against people on their skill level. I'm excited to see how good they are using new seasonal weapon versus Lord of Wolves Omni. I don't know exactly what that means specifically, but you know, it always feels bad to just, you know, have somebody be like trying to show that like they're a god at a PvP game when really all they're doing is like showing a kill streak of them going around slamming around a bunch of noobs. You know that that doesn't prove anything. In June 2020, SBMM was removed from all but the elimination and survival playlists. In the years since, the community has been increasingly frustrated with the current form of matchmaking. Unsurprising given the stats above. Nevertheless, Bungie isn't fully returning to the old system. Keyword here is loose, with Bungie saying they would rather sacrifice some match fairness in order to maintain connection quality and matchmaking speeds. Yeah, I understand that. Our initial version of loose SBMM for the control playlist is going to work a little differently. Starts with wider accepted skill variants and then expands very slowly on both acceptable skill and connection quality at the same time. Matchmaking times will likely go up, especially for those in a pre-existing fire team or on either extreme of the skill curve. We are hoping the trade-off for matches that aren't super sweaty or lopsided blowouts will be worth it. Inevitably, there will be some teething problems here. There always is for matchmaking, but as a regular PvP player, the current system does feel untenable. Anecdotally, the number of obvious blowouts feels higher than ever. Plenty of possible reasons for this. New players in particular are at an obvious disadvantage in terms of loadout options and buildcraft knowledge. Bungie's own data seems to line up with my anecdotal experience, with 25% of matches ending in mercy on some maps and over 50% of matches ending with the best player getting 20 kills or more kills than the worst. Destiny 2 will never be the most competitive PvP game, in part because of its randomized loot system, meaning that it can be time consuming to guarantee the most advantageous perks for the best weapons. But it's also worth stressing that most games use some form of skill-based matchmaking, even for more casual modes, because you don't want newer players getting demolished by seasoned pros. Absolutely. It's wild that it's even a hot topic. Even the old system was far from perfect. Anything that can make PvP less of a soul-crushing chore will be a long-term win for the game. Yeah, I agree. And I think it's good that they're bringing it back. Absolutely. Even in a loose state to begin with. Google is denying rumors that Stadia is shutting down. We've actually seen some of these rumors for a while now. Google has formally denied a rumor that Stadia gaming service will be soon closed down, saying it will still that they are still working on bringing more great games to the platform. Stadia, which is Google's cloud-based gaming service, has been under one form of death watch or another almost from the start, thanks to confused marketing campaigns, reports of technical problems, and the absence of some very basic functionality at launch. The situation grew more overtly dire in early 2021 when Stadia's Jade Raymond-led internal development studio was shuttered. That may at least partially explain why a rumor posted yesterday on the Killed by Google Twitter feed, attributed to an anonymous friend of a regional Google manager, attracted so much attention. Long story short, Google is beginning their exit plan, the message says. They did not have an exact date that end of service will happen, but they did say by the end of summer. He also mentioned that they will not be transferring their services or servers to any other competition per se, and it will be much like they did with Google Play Music, same exit approach and strategy. He also mentioned that all members would be informed 30 to 60 days before, and that the last month of service will be refunded and no charge for its usage. Also, any available subscription months will be refunded fully to your linked bank account. Like all good rumors, it's thin and untraceable, but contains just enough detail and connection to on-the-ground reality to be believable. Naturally, it sparked plenty of conversations. Many in the gaming leaks and rumors subreddit accepted the report as true, while the official Stadia subreddit was understandably more dubious, but Stadia said on Twitter that it just isn't so. Stadia is not shutting down, the official Stadia account said in reply to a user who asked if it's closing soon. Quote, rest assured we're always working on bringing more great games to the platform and Stadia Pro. That makes it official, and plenty of people who I have to assume are Stadia owners expressed their relief in the replies, but not everyone was convinced. The doubt is understandable. A Kotaku report from earlier this year said that just 1 week before closing the Stadia Games and Entertainment Development Studio, Stadia General Manager Phil Harrison had sent an email to its staff praising the great progress they were making. Yeah, this is just another event in the long list of things that have happened to kind of continue the rumor mill of Stadia going through a long drawn out process of eventual doom, right? I mean, we've seen it for a long time now. And Google keeps kind of denying and rumors keep coming up confirming and I don't know, man. Well, I mean, time will tell. Time will tell for sure. TikTok is piloting gaming inside the app. Again, much to the same extent that we see with what is happening with Netflix, right? They're going to be developing games, bringing it to their platform, and you'll be able to play it through their app, right? Play the games through their app. TikTok is at last ready to join its social media cohorts, Facebook and Snapchat, in offering baked-in video games, and is apparently piloting its new program with a handful of developers ready. As reported by TechCrunch, TikTok has partnered with developers such as Voodoo, Nitro Games, FRVR, AimLab, and Lodem to make games built into TikTok, HTML5 minigames that users can play within the app and discover through videos they are watching. Think hyper-casual mobile games. Don't expect to be playing God of War as you browse cooking fail videos. As the feature rolls out, creators will be able to find an option to link videos to a minigame on the screen before they publish a new video. Where they add hashtags, links, descriptions, and other information. Viewers are then able to click through the video to the game. The feature is currently in the process of being soft launched across different global markets and is not yet available everywhere. The available games at launch are as follows: Basketball FRVR, Tap the Difference, Peekahoo, Pride Run, Influencer Run, Space Destroyer, Mr. Aim Lab's Nightmare. Currently, none of the games are monetized, and the initiative currently appears solely to gauge the taste of TikTok for such games, though that could always change. That's a safe bet. That's going to change. TikTok initially began its gaming foray with the introduction of Disco Loco 3D, an endless runner created in collaboration with Zynga, where players collect dance moves and challenge their friends. Far from the first tech and social platform to make such a jump, Facebook has repeatedly revised its own take on a gaming section over the years, most recently with its move into cloud gaming and its Facebook gaming web and Android app. Snapchat has similarly been working on in-game apps with its Snap Games label for a few years now. Even Netflix has begun rolling its own game service with plans to have nearly 50 games by the end of the year. Yep. It's the play. It's the pivot for a lot of these other big companies in the entertainment industry, social media, what have you. Gaming, very lucrative. Lots of money to be made if you know what you're doing. You know? The thing that's real concerning for me about it is um as far as I'm concerned, and I think a lot of our community would agree, we are here and we do, we do what we do because we love video games, right? As opposed to, and quite often where a lot of our beloved titles come from are, even if those companies have changed in current times to be something not worth loving anymore. If all these companies just see this as a way to make more money, they're not necessarily seeing this as a passion, right? These aren't passion projects. These aren't companies that go, man, we love video games. We love what video games are for people. We're looking to create great content while being a great business move as well. These companies are seeing this as money. They're money zombies, right? It's just, you know, that's my big concern. And I mean, time and time again, we constantly see where uh, the majority of the time where the great titles come from nowadays are, and not that we don't still get great titles from bigger developers, but uh, I feel like what has really kept the industry going content wise and made it still feel wholesome to a great extent for all of us that are just fans of gaming are the indie devs. You know, it's these individuals, these small groups of people that love games as much as we do, and are continuing to just bring passion to the these great titles that they're pushing out to us because they want us to experience their vision and their passion for the industry that they have just as much as we have for playing the titles, you know, and being a part of the industry as well because we love the experience. Whereas a lot of this, these other companies pivoting in, it's just they just see money, you know, and I think that's one of the great, large concerning things for me is push out as many games as we can. One of them's got to hit, you know, one of them's got to hit, and it's not about these companies being focused on being great developers now and for the foreseeable future or anything like that. It's just money, you know, and I get it. It's a business as well, but at the end of the day, ultimately, what I want to see is more great developers, big and small. It doesn't matter to me, but just developers that are maintain at least some kind of focus on what the gaming industry has always supposed to have been about, which is creating great content for people to enjoy and immerse themselves in. And that's the thing that scares me about a lot of that. Xbox Boss's most anticipated game is a PlayStation exclusive. Head of Xbox Phil Spencer has revealed what his most anticipated game is at the moment. It's a game that will only be on PlayStation, at least for the foreseeable future. Xbox currently doesn't have any major first-party games coming this fall as the platform holder was betting big on Bethesda's Starfield, eating up everyone's time. Sadly, the game was delayed from November of this year to some undisclosed date in 2023. As of right now, the game is slated to release in the first half of next year, much to the disappointment of fans who were looking deep. Again, you know, I honestly, I'm not sensing the huge vibe of hype around Starfield for what it's bringing to the table content wise. And maybe that's just because this is the way I feel as well. But a lot of what I feel anticipation is really for Starfield is just to see if Bethesda still has any kind of decent development left in them to bring something um, worthwhile of our time in a title. They have published some pretty crappy stuff as of late, and I think a lot of people are just real not it's not as much hype as it is anticipation of seeing what they're bringing to the table of with Starfield to see if it's any good. That's what I think it is. It's not hype, it's anticipation. Which I mean is what they're saying, but I think it's important to note. And I'm not saying there aren't people out there that might not be hyped about it, but and again, I might just be thinking that way, but I just haven't heard a lot around the way of our community and other people that are like, "Oh, dude, I can't wait for Starfield. It's gonna be amazing." It's not like I don't feel like I'm getting hype like that. You know, Samara, what's up, my friend? How are you? With that said, given that there aren't any big Xbox games coming out this year, and he is likely is heavily involved with the production of most of them, anyways, Xbox boss Phil Spencer has stated he's most excited to play God of War Ragnarok. Uh, Santa Monica Studios, dude, killed it with the previous God of War. It was so good. And if they come close to the same level of the previous God of War on Ragnarok, awesome. In response to a tweet from Xbox, as far as I'm concerned, right? Spencer stated in the next game he wants to play. Spencer stated it's the next game he wants to play. Isn't a huge surprise coming from Spencer, who has a history of actively supporting and engaging with PlayStation developers. and talks about how he occasionally plays on consoles. Although it shouldn't be shocking that a guy who plays video games and works in the industry is playing games on other platforms. The industry has a history of not even uttering the competition's name for the most part. Spencer also recently offered his support to the God of War Ragnarok team after some developers received harassment over the then unannounced release date for the game. God of War Ragnarok is one of the most anticipated games for a lot of people, largely because its predecessor was one of the best games of the PS4 generation. Despite releasing in the same year as other major games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Marvel's Spider-Man, it managed to snag Game of the Year award at the Game Awards. Fans are also excited to see Thor and other characters make their debut. This is one of the things I would like to say is I have been actually kind of wowed by Phil Spencer. I'm not like super informed and educated about who Phil Spencer is, but the more that I read about this individual and the way he addresses gaming, the more it makes me comfortable with who Xbox has leading their division, right? I think it's Microsoft's gaming division, isn't he? The top of head of Xbox. So he's head of Xbox, right? I have seen so many statements from this individual that makes me feel like he still maintains a great outlook regarding what gaming is and what we all love about gaming as well, right? And to see somebody, the head of Xbox, right, basically do stuff like I can come out and just say that they can't wait to play a game that is going to be PlayStation exclusive, a PlayStation exclusive, be like, man, I can't wait to play Ragnarok. You don't see that very often. Yo, it's random mode time, guys. Look at that. Pog. Um, Looking for that not squishy emote. Um, but I've seen many news articles that just you know, I've seen a lot of quotes that he said that to me conveys that this individual, Phil Spencer, um, is just a very, very passionate person about what gaming is for people that love video games. And apparently is just a is not solely focused on the bottom line. What so many great, the big developers are nowadays. He is also at the core just a very a video game lover, right? Which is what I would want at the top of my video game company. Obviously you want somebody that is business minded and business centric. You want things to be running smoothly and to be creating good content. But I think to do very well in the company, in the gaming industry, you need to have somebody that understands what gaming at its core is and what it means to people. And I think Phil Spencer is one of those people. I really do. So I mean, I honestly, the more I hear about this individual, the more I'm kind of just enamored with the way he addresses and runs this corporation. Uh, uh, oh, Samara, I'm sorry, my friend. Yo, nice gamer. Got that Harley Quinn, that Harley wink, dude. I love that emote, by the way. And gamer, you use those Batman emotes too. That's funny. That's funny, man. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you, Samara. That's rough. Um, okay. I mean, is this like a temporary uh absence, or is this like supposed to be a coming back? I Well, this is a good article. I like this. Um, so again, we're gonna take a look real quick at on the way indie games on the way from Annapurna Interactive. Right, Annapurna again is the company that just pushed out Stray, right? Um, they have also done Neon White, which we've talked a lot about here recently, Kentucky Route Zero, and The Artful Escape. They recently announced even more great games on the way. Hindsight. From the creator of the critically acclaimed Prune, Hindsight is a narrative exploration game spanning the entirety of a woman's life from birth to present day as she unpacks memories following the loss of her mother. Players revisit her childhood home, sort through personal belongings, step through windows to memories frozen in time, and glimpse unseen futures. Thirsty Suitors. We've seen Thirsty Suitors. We saw showcased in June. It is a really wild kind of mashup game of you play this character that you basically fight your potential significant others or past relationships, whatever, through text-based combat. You don't actually do any kind of physical combat. It's just like words and stuff, and then there's also like a skateboarding element to the game and stuff. But it's very very visually appealing. The art style is nice. It's very colorful and it's a really really weird mashup of a game, and it looks really neat. I would say check it out. We might play it in the channel. We'll be back till second Monday. Okay. Okay. So what? Like a couple weeks? Yeah, couple weeks. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think you'll be okay. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. You ever heard that? I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Thirsty Suitors will have players take the role of Jayla, a young woman returning home for her sister's wedding and confronting her past. With wildly varied gameplay, Jayla will fight skate punks, random suitors, and ultimately her exes in this ultimate battle to heal old hurts and ignite new truths, bringing Jayla closer to understanding what she wants from her future. The Pathless, developed by the award-winning team behind Abzu. Abzu is beautiful, by the way. If you've never played Abzu, you're basically just like swimming underwater and like it's just a real pleasant, beautiful, underwater atmospheric kind of game. And I highly recommend if you just want to chill out and experience something very, very pretty, play Abzu. The Pathless sees players take on the role of Hunter, a master of archery who travels to a mystical island to dispel a curse of darkness that grips the world. The hunter must forge a connection with an eagle companion to hunt corrupted spirits. In turn, be careful to not become the hunted. Players will explore misty forests full of secrets, solve puzzles in ancient ruins, and be tested in epic battles. The bond between the hunter and eagle and the fate of the world hang in the balance. Size, what's up? Here comes the dad jokes. Let's go, buddy. Bring it. Bring it, dude. Hey, happy weekend, everybody. It's good to see you. Let's get these dad jokes. Maquette, developed by Graceful Decay, Maquette takes place in a recursive world where players must navigate memories by exploring worlds within worlds filled with awe-inspiring architecture. The game stars Bryce Dallas Howard and Seth Gable as a couple guiding players through the life cycle of a loving relationship. Yep. So, here, I'm gonna throw this in chat again. Annapurna is the ones that they just did. I mean, let me make sure here, but that should be they are the ones that did Stray. Yeah. So they published Stray, and they are really being kind of uh put on a pedestal right now as far as this great title they published. They didn't develop it, they published it, right? But it comes along with it. So they're publishing all these other titles as well. So people are really looking at what else they've got coming down the road, and so I don't know, worth taking a look, right? For sure. It's right there in chat though. What? I don't know, buddy. I don't know. What? is no. Johnny Depp appears in a new video game trailer. Johnny Depp has popped up in a rather surprising place following the defamation trial. Nice, dude. Following the defamation trial between him and Aquaman actress Amber Heard. I thought it was Amber Turd. Too soon? Johnny Depp made a name for himself in the 90s and 2000s as an actor who could get lost in a role, almost becoming a chameleon with films like Edward Scissorhands, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and more. His most defining role is Jack Sparrow, a drunken pirate from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, which is reportedly being rebooted with the likes of Margot Robbie involved. Depp's incredible mainstream career took a nosedive. Yeah, we know all about this, dude. Took a nosedive when his ex-wife accused him of a toxic and abusive relationship. Depp claimed to have been asked by Warner Bros. To resign from the role of Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts films as a result of the negative publicity the accusations brought upon him. Since then, the actor hasn't appeared in many mainstream projects. Despite this, Depp has appeared in a new trailer for a new game known as Sea of Dawn, as a strange, bumbling, blind shopkeeper by the name of Philip. It's the kind of Depp character you would have seen in the early 2000s, which is awesome. I've been a fan of Johnny Depp stuff for a long time, and it was because of his early work. Johnny Depp he always took those really quirky kind of wild role. He worked a lot with Tim Burton, you know, and I loved the kind of roles that he always took on, you know. Leaning into the absurd humor as the bill collector in the scene is caught off guard by the erratic behavior. Depp also spoke about his role in a behind-the-scenes video, talking about how he helped create the character with the producers and where he pulled inspiration from the look of Philip. You can take a look at the trailer and behind-the-scenes video below. Johnny Depp's next acting role will be in a film called La Favorite. Is this Favorite? A French period drama starring Depp as King Louis XV that is expected to be released on Netflix France in 2023, though it's unclear if it will have a global release. He's actually lived in France for a very long time, so that's not surprising. The news came after Depp won a defamation lawsuit against Heard, which most people are very familiar with. It was very public, highly publicized trial, though it was also ruled there was defamation from both parties. Heard was ordered by the court to pay $10 million to Depp, while he was ordered to pay $2 million. Sea of Dawn is out now in China for PC and mobile, with a US and Europe release scheduled for later this year. I don't know. We'll see real quick. Wait. A long trailer. But it's cool. Let's take a look.
What do you want? Oh, well, hello there. Aren't you a sight? Let's have a look at you then. Oh, my dear Faith McCora. The spitting image you are. Every bit the lion your dad was.
Did you know my father?
No, but you're looking very well just the same, I must say.
He's blind. You're looking good.
No peeking. Now, tell me something. What you make of this?
God, it is repugnant, senor. What is that?
I've no idea. So I suppose you'll be wanting to hear the story then.
That's a tough situation,
Senor,
Samara.
My name is Anselmo Rodriguez.
Story of adventure.
Adventure?
Every precious trinket in this room is a part of my adventures, you see. This, inches from me neck it was. It found its target in me fez. Oh. I was on the deck of the good ship Santiago when it came under proper attack. I mean, like thick clouds of these very same darts. Poisonous they are! Strike them and dead. I mean dead. Very, very dead. And then suddenly, there was this giant boom, and everything went dark.
You fainted?
I did not!
I don't think they're actually going to show anything like about the game. It's just a kind of cinematic thing they created for the game.
In the midst
apparently.
of a great battle with the Spanish Armada, the Santiago's bridge had been blown to bits, along with the captain and its first mate. So I pulled myself together, and then I started to bark out commands. I did. Hello! But me and my crew, we worked together as one. We defeated them soundly and righteously. And then carried the day. Not long after, I found myself looking out over the vast Pacific Ocean, or what seemed to be just a very large amount of water.
Pretty elaborate trailer for like a game that doesn't actually show any gameplay on, or like it's not actually like. Even it's like live action cinematic as opposed to what would normally be for a game. Normally, what you see is engine based, computer animated, cutscene type.
It is the most mysterious and dangerous thing I've ever laid my eyes upon. What's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? Do you happen to play the flute, boy?
No, senor.
Well, then pay attention, man. Listen.
Yes.
Hear me well. Now, me, I've had me adventure. Do you see what I'm saying? I see your journey awaits you out there on the tides. You be brave. Be bold. Eat a proper breakfast in the morning. And maybe if you're lucky, you might just find a way to unite this world. Now, get out. Well, what are you waiting for?
Senor,
Adventure awaits you, son.
Speak of Dawn, huh? Huh. They actually have, I don't know. We might have to look into that. That's kind of wild. I don't know. We might have to cut that out of this news segment. So if you're watching this later on YouTube and the trailer didn't get to be placed into the news segment as well, I apologize. Maybe go back and watch it. Yeah, maybe go back and watch it. But if you're interested, here you go. That was actually a pretty funny little trailer. Right on. Maybe we'll probably see more of that as we move forward. So, look, these next couple of articles are going to be talking about the Analog Pocket. We've been familiar with the Analog Pocket for quite a while in this community. I'm going to bring up the Analog Pocket. I actually have it bookmarked because this is a really, really cool little device, okay? This device that you see here is very Game Boy-esque, right? But don't let your eyes deceive you, okay? It actually is very Game Boy-esque. So, but it is like a very, very modern take on that kind of hardware. So what you get is a handheld console device that plays retro cartridges, right? That is what this is at its core. Ultimately, It's got bumper buttons in the back as well as your 4 buttons on the front to game with. You've got these are adapters that allow you to play all kinds of different. I mean, this thing plays like all Game Boy games. What is it? I can read it off to you real quick. Multi-video game system, portable handheld, digital audio workstation with a built-in synthesizer and sequencer, a tribute to portable gaming. Out of the box, Pocket is able to is compatible with almost 2,800 Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advanced game cartridges. It also works with cartridge adapters, which are these guys right here. Okay, for other handheld systems, which that will allow you to play old cartridges for the Neo Geo Pocket, Color, the Atari Lynx, and more. Okay, so and it's no emulation. This is just a piece of hardware that allows you to play old school cartridges, which is really neat. It's also an audio sequencer and synthesizer, which is really neat as well. It's got a dock like the Switch does, so you can actually dock it, play it on a monitor or a TV, whatever. You can connect wireless controllers to it. It's a really, really cool device. So you can see the dock right here. While it charges it as well. It's a really cool device. We're talking about $220 US for this thing. We found out about it late last year, and I would love to get my hands on one. It is really, really neat. I think they actually are doing like pre-orders right now. Yeah, pre-orders for them, stuff like that. They do fulfillment groups. Right now it's in 2023, but very sleek, nice looking piece of hardware here that seems really neat. I'm going to put this in chat. Okay. Now that you have an idea of what the Pocket is, we'll move forward with these articles. Okay. So the Analog has released a video game from 1962 on their Pocket. All right. Developed at MIT, Space War is credited as being the world's first video game. So the world's first video game is coming to Analog Pocket near you. Today, Analog announced it is launching Space War, a game originally designed for the PDP-1 mini computer that predates Pong by a full decade on the Pocket as a part of its larger strategy to bring pioneering video games into the modern era. The original Space War was created in 1962 by a cadre of engineers led by Steve Russell at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Using a PDP-1 mini computer and a 1024 by 1024 pixel CRT display, Russell and his colleagues programmed a game in which 2 spacecraft duke it out on the gravitational well of a star. 2 controllers were created for the game, featuring switches for maneuvering and buttons that were designed to be quiet when pressed so your opponent couldn't hear when you were firing missiles. So here it is actually being played on the Analog. To bring Space War to the Analog Pocket, Spaceman 3, a third-party developer, used the source code from the PDP-1 computer and Space War itself, both of which are in the public domain, alongside OpenFPGA software. Emulating 60-year-old software came with some interesting challenges, I bet. Space War is emblematic of Analog's larger mission to preserve and play not only video games of recent past, as with their retro console offerings, but also of distant past too. Games that were never released commercially, like Space War, represent some of the lost video game history Analog is trying to resurrect, which is awesome for the industry. The purpose of OpenFPGA is to open up Analog's hardware to developers to help preserve video game history. We've kicked off the program, highlighted the beginning of video games with a recreation of the PDP-1's Space War. Space War is launching on the Pocket Analog with a new software update that adds save states and more. Very cool. Very cool. Analog Pocket just got its long-awaited jailbreak. Mysterious new cores now let the Pocket play ROMs from 3 Game Boy systems. So, this is what you need to understand. Analog never intended for this to be an emulator system, right? But with most pieces of hardware and their operating systems, there are very, very intelligent people out there that find ways to jailbreak them, whether it be a device like this, or a phone, or a tablet, what have you, right? There are people that are very good at figuring out ways to what's referred to as jailbreak these devices, so that you basically can manipulate them to turn the devices into whatever you would like to utilize them for, right? It basically frees up the hardware from the kinds of restrictions the manufacturer puts on the devices out of the box. Analog Company's Pocket has always turned heads, first for being the most authentic seeming Game Boy replacement ever announced, then for taking an extraordinary length of time to finally come out. But come out it did, and it was pretty good. For some, its biggest drawback was that it required old, increasingly expensive physical cartridges to play games. As, for the most part, it couldn't just load convenient ROM files. Pocket really needed something the kids call a jailbreak, at least if it was going to fulfill the fantasy of being the ultimate Game Boy device. Today, the jailbreak just slipped in the side door. This is what you need to understand. There is a really, really, really super gray area here, and I highly advise you to do your own research regarding copyright infringement. Because there are a lot of ways to run emulators out there nowadays, right? And basically, when it comes down to it, it's very hard for us as video game lovers to go grab older video games and play them without having to find an old console, maybe even refurbish one, then get the cartridges or the discs or whatever, and it's not always an easy thing to do. So quite often, what people resort to doing is utilizing software that's called an emulator that basically it acts like the old hardware would run. It's basically the old hardware with, or the software that runs on the old hardware. And then the ROMs are the games without having the physical game. So, but where it gets really, really gray is and it's tough because especially nowadays with these companies are starting to take, like, the Switch is turning into an emulator for Switch Online, having your ability to play older titles, right? 64 titles, regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo titles. So Nintendo can possibly see this as copyright infringement. If you're using an emulator to play the games that they are making available through a subscription service, you are potentially infringing on copyright stuff there. So there's a lot of things to look into in regards to that. Now, that's why Analog has said this is not supposed to be an emulator device. It is a device, a piece of hardware that will allow you to play old cartridges, right? It removes them from any kind of copyright violation situations, is basically the thing. A little place setting. When the Pocket finally shipped last December, it had only the most bare-bones operating system and lacked many of the system's promised features, like save states that back up your game progress. Analog also didn't release the originally announced Atari Lynx, Neo Geo Pocket, or TurboGrafx 16 card adapters. Now, we just saw that an update's coming with save states and all that stuff right now. Early adopters, glad as they were to have their Uber Game Boys with beautiful Retina quality screens, realized it'd be quite some time before the device in their hands was actually finished. The same was true for would-be developers eager to make powerful portable do fun new stuff. Pocket contained 2 field programmable gate arrays, which programmers can reconfigure to closely approximate the hardware of another device. They're wonderful for simulating classic video game systems, and hobbyist developers would surely put them to great use, perhaps by developing new FPGA cores, meaning software that tells the FPGAs how to configure themselves to simulate even more consoles, but that feature was delayed too. Fast forward to today, Analog finally released a new version of the Pocket Analog's OS. Version 1.1 beta adds the long-promised library and memories features. The first displays information about games you insert. The second is basically save states. The 1.1 beta also finally opens the system up to developers under the moniker OpenFPGA. As an example of what hobbyists can accomplish with the newly unlocked FPGAs, Analog released an OpenFPGA core that simulates space war. That's what we just read about in the previous article. One of the first video games ever. And that was it. A nice and necessary update, but it wasn't the jailbreak many folks had been hoping for either. See you in another 6 months. But then, some 3 hours later, a GitHub account called Spiritualized 1997, created less than 24 hours prior, uploaded a repository called OpenFPGA GBA. 1 minute later, it uploaded another called OpenFPGA GBGBC. Each repository contained a single downloadable file. To play Game Boy Advance on your Pocket, follow these instructions, said the instructions accompanying the GBA repository, outlining 5 steps to install a version 1.0.0 spiritualized 1997 GBA core on the Pocket and get it running ROM files. Again, ROM files are just the digital executable copies of what games are. So you would have it on the device, load it up, the game runs, right? The second repository offered similar instructions, but for a core that ran Game Boy and Game Boy Color ROMs. So to recap, today Analog Pocket got the ability to run third-party FPGA cores. 3 hours and 22 minutes later, the Pocket's 2 most popular supported handhelds mysteriously received new third-party FPGA cores that could do the thing that everyone's wanted the Pocket to do since it came out. Load games from ROM files stored on a micro SD card. Is this finally the jailbreak? Yes, it is. Or rather, the jailbreak's finally started. Because today's 2 Nintendo cores are just the first wave of what is clearly going to be a longer, more sustained rollout. So what is happening here? Who is Spiritualized in 1997, and how did they develop and release GBA and GBGBC cores for the Analog Pocket just 3 or so hours after? It is very sus there, isn't it? Just hours after the OS 1.1 beta release made running such things possible. Why is their account so new? Most observers' theory, which is to be clear, Kotaku cannot confirm, is that Spiritualized is Kevin Horton, a legend in the emulation scene and the FPGA emulation guru behind all of Analog's FPGA-based game machines. He's worked on the Analog NT Mini, the Super NT, and Mega SG, and of course, the Pocket. Horton has a history of releasing unofficial jailbreak firmware for the Analog consoles he's helped develop, starting back in 2017 when he uploaded the first jailbreak firmware for the NT Mini. The core store is officially open for business, he wrote on the Atari Age forum, referring to the potential to make the NT Mini run games from a variety of systems, which until then it had only played 8-bit Nintendo games loaded off of physical cartridges. It's been a long 8 months, but today's surprise Spiritualized the 1997 FPGA cores are pretty much exactly what Pocket owners wanted, just in a slightly different form than usual. Discrete FPGA cores loadable through the Pocket's new Open FPGA feature. That's made this jailbreak seem a little more subtle than usual. It's not a firmware replacement, but alternate cores you run off the micro SD card. The end result is the same. Right. Again, this is only the start of a longer jailbreak process that will play out over the coming months. After all, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Advance are just 3 of the handhelds people want to play on the Pocket, not to mention folks clamoring for it to support TV-based consoles like Genesis and Super Nintendo. Yeah, the Spiritualized 1997 FPGA cores, both at a nascent version 1.0.0, are also missing a few features enjoyed by the Pocket's official built-in cores, most notably screen filters. These and further enhancements are coming. The missing filters are apparently just because the Open FPGA API is still immature. Yeah. At the end of today's analog version 1.1 announcement, the company tweeted, Analog does not support or endorse the unauthorized use or distribution of material protected by copyright or other intellectual property rights. Okay? That's important to note there. So, this is happening in a way that is they're trying to protect themselves. As I was kind of alluding to before and explaining, this entire, and I think it's very, very important that people are able to go back and play vintage video games, older video games that these companies like PlayStation, Nintendo, Sega, Atari, I mean, what have you, whether they're not giving you the capability to really get into a lot of those titles, I think it's important for us as gamers and for the industry. I think it's important. And Analog is doing this in a way that is kind of circumventing their potential to be held liable for copyright infringement, it seems. So, there you go. The Pocket, actually, I mean, we've been talking about the Pocket, Analog Pocket, since, at the end of the year last year, and it seems like a really, really cool device. I mean, you're going to be on a wait list for a while. You can't get one until 2023 right now, even if you purchased one now, but it looks like a really cool device. Devea, what is up, my friend? Good to see you. It's good to see everybody. Happy weekend. Oh, God. Stretch it out, guys. Stretch it out. God Killer video game adaptation announced starring the boys Aya Cash. The boy star Aya Cash is voicing the lead role in video game adaptation of Black Mask Studios' God Killer. Created by Mario Pizzolo and artist Anna Weischek. God Killer was the recipient of a Warner Brothers animated movie written and directed by Pizzolo in 2011. Comic spawned the sequel God Killer Tomorrow's Ash is selling out a 40,000 book print run in 2021. A new series is scheduled to release in September titled God Killer For Those I Love I Will Sacrifice. Black Mask Entertainment continues to broaden its gaming division, which has more than 24 features and series in development. Aya Cash voices God Killer star Bones, an anti-hero, let's go, sorcerer who survives her world's descent into dystopia and leads a vendetta against the cruel men and strange deities responsible for the end of the world. On The Boys, she played villain Stormfront, who joined the Seven and developed a relationship with Anthony Starr's Homelander in Season 2. However, Stormfront was revealed to be an older hero who took up a new identity to push her Nazi and white supremacist agenda. Yep. Black Mask has had other titles picked up for future films as well. Yeah. Black is another series being adapted for the big screen. Just really interested in the game stuff there. God Killer. So, God Killer video game coming. I'm sure we'll see more of it. If you want to read that entire article, it's really diving into the a lot of the movie stuff there. But new Hogwarts Legacy video has a surprise for Hufflepuff fans. A new Hogwarts Legacy video has a small surprise for Hufflepuff fans. The new Harry Potter is one of the most anticipated games in gaming. In fact, there's room to argue it's one of the most anticipated games of all time. Right now, the most watched game trailer on the PlayStation YouTube page of all time is the Hogwarts Legacy reveal trailer. This doesn't mean the game is going to warrant the hype, but it confirms there are many, at the very least, interested in the game. With this level of excitement, every little reveal and piece of media becomes notable, especially during a media and information drought. While the game is still slated to release this year, WB Games and Avalanche Software have actually been quite quiet recently. Sorry. All of that said, over on the official Warner Brothers Games France Twitter page, a 30-second video has been shared. On the surface level, it looks comprised of footage we've all seen, but it actually contains a very brief and new look at the Hufflepuff common room. Of course, this brief snippet of footage contain any shocking reveal or anything super noteworthy, does show off more of what fans are so excited about, which is a highly detailed and vibrant wizarding world.
Bienvenue dans Hogwarts Legacy, l'héritage de Poudlard. En arrivant à Poudlard, vous serez envoyé dans l'une de ces 4 maisons. Gryffondor, Poufsouffle...
English only! Sorry. Astro's Playground, the game... Yeah, it came with PS5, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people really enjoyed it. I remember that. Yeah, a lot of people really enjoyed that game. Yep. There you go, guys. Brief look at the new Hufflepuff common room. Okay. Looks like a hobbit hole. It looks like a hobbit hole. I'm glad you're enjoying it, gamer. Yeah, I remember a lot of people really, really enjoyed that game. The game that came with PS5, yeah. Hogwarts Legacy is scheduled to release sometime later this year via Switch, PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. According to a recent leak, it's coming out on December 6th, but this is not confirmed. So, grain of salt there with that date. Steam gives away a game with VR, with the VR version for free. Steam is giving away what is essentially 2 games for no extra cost. It's literally free video games. Steam has a reputation for being one of the best places to play games on PC, largely thanks to its amazing storefront. Not only is it filled with thousands of amazing games, but the store does a pretty good job of discounting them and fairly pricing some of the best games out there. While there are some games that are arguably a bit overpriced, it's a solid store that is constantly giving its users a great deal. Been made even better by the release of the Steam Deck, which allows gamers to take their Steam library on the go via a Switch-like device. For those who use Steam, you can get the game Republic and its VR version for free. The game is also being given away on the Oculus Store for Rift and Quest users. It's believed that the games are being made for free for the 10th anniversary of the developer Camouflage. The game was originally a mobile title, but was ported to other platforms such as PC and VR over time. The game received mostly decent reviews, with its episodic releases on iOS receiving mid to high 70s on Metacritic. That's not bad. The developer was also entrusted by Marvel and Sony to make Iron Man VR for the PlayStation VR, a game that was used as a showcase for Sony's VR headset, has since been bundled in with many versions of the headset. As of right now, it's unclear what the developer's next game is, but it's believed that they'll be working on more VR titles. Regardless, it's hard to turn down free games. Even if you don't want to play it right now, you never know when you might get bored and want to try something new, so it's worth adding to the library. Absolutely. Let me grab the right here. Let's go take a look, make sure it's still there. Yeah, look. They're actually both free right now. So go grab you some free games. You don't get free games all that often on Steam, right? So, and I'm actually surprised. Did that come up in our Discord? That should have come up in Discord, dude. That has not come up in our Discord. Hold on. Yeah, it's only our bot is only showing lawn mowing simulator. That's kind of weird. Huh. I'll take a look at the settings, see why that might not, Republic might not be coming up. Odd. Huh. Okay. But either way, free game. Mostly positive. You get a VR version too, so grab both. Don't forget to grab both, okay? Multiverses will nerf Bugs Bunny. In case you somehow missed it, the free-to-play platform brawler video game Multiverses from Player First Games and Warner Bros. Was officially released in open beta this week on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. The new open beta came with the release of LeBron James as a new addition to the playable roster of fighters. Okay. As well as a significant nerf for Taz, because Taz was basically a one-button OP wreck everybody character. Given that this is intended to be a live service game with support from the developer over a long time, should come as no surprise that Player First Games is already eyeballing nerfs for other characters. More specifically, Player First Games co-founder and Multiverse's game director Tony Hune recently confirmed that nerfs are coming for Bugs Bunny. Exactly what those nerfs might be remains to be seen, but he explicitly said bugs will always be fun, so make of that what you will. You can check out his tweet with the exact quote below. Given the after Evo part of the comment, it seems like there will be a major Multiverses patch at some point somewhere around August 8th. The massive fighting game tournament Evo 2022 is set to run from August 5th through August 7th. Will feature a 2v2 or 2-on-2 tournament on August 5th and August 6th. Tournament at Evo 2022 has a prize pool of $100,000, so it seems likely that the developers don't want to completely disrupt the game heading into the big tournament, and instead save many nerfs and buffs for afterwards. You know, one of the things that really sucks for Evo this year is that if you're not aware, Evo is a huge fighting game tournament, right? And Smash has always been, or for a long time, has been a game that's been played at this tournament. Well, I think last year Sony actually bought the rights to hold Evo. They own Evo now. And so Nintendo backed out. They're like, oh, well, you know, Sony owns it now, and so we're not going to let anybody take part in our games at that tournament. Which just feels really bad for the gaming industry, dude. You know, it's like, instead of just letting people enjoy what video games are supposed to be, it's like, oh, well, they're a competitor, and, you know, so we're not going to let people play our game at Evo. God forbid, you know, people have fun playing a video game, you know, what the game was actually made to be utilized for. Let's put a big, let's crap on everybody's parade, you know. Great job, Nintendo. Good job, guys. The biggest games releasing in August, Saints, Sinners, and Spider-Man. Get ready for a whole lot of quality gaming in August with superhero ports, cultist lambs, and roller skating blood sports. So 2 Point Campus is coming on August 9th. Cult of the Lamb is coming on August 11th. This game actually looks really, really cool. Marvel Spider-Man Remastered on August 12th. Roller Drome. Dude, Roller Drome looks sick. That's August 16th. This game looks awesome. And what I'll say, right now, I think it's only a single-player game. But if they ended up incorporating some way to put multiplayer in this game, the art style looks sick. It's really, really gnarly looking, like super, like just fast-paced. Brutal combat. Like, if they put some kind of multiplayer in there, it'd be awesome. Cursed to Golf. Saints Row on August 23rd. This has already gone gold, by the way. TMNT, the Cowabunga Collection on August 30th. A little to the left, August date, TBC. And there's a whole list of some other, I guess, notable games here. Yeah, I'm not going to read them all off, but I'll throw this in chat. Wow. My bad. Throw that in chat so you guys can take a look. Steam Deck reservations will be fulfilled before the end of the year at this point. Everyone who currently is in the reservation queue will get their Steam Deck email this year. All right. Valve has released another update regarding the Steam Deck production timeline, and it seems like anyone with a reservation is set to get one by the end of the year. The news comes from a post on the Steam website stating, "We're excited to announce that we're going to be able to fulfill demand sooner than we had estimated for everyone in the reservation queue. As of today, we've updated the reservation windows, and everyone who's currently in the reservation queue will get their Steam Deck email this year." The post continues, many customers who were in the Q4 or later window have been bumped to Q3 window, and everyone else is now solidly in the Q4 window. It's stated that any new reservations will be in the Q4 bucket, although this may spill into the following quarter if queues fill. The post concludes with a tease of more news coming soon. This comes following the update from last month that Valve would be ramping up Steam Deck production, shipping more than double the number of Steam Decks every week. We know about the models. NME awarded the system 4 out of 5 stars, stating the Switch still claims the simplest, most portable option, but the Steam Deck is a literal game changer when it comes to unshackling yourself from your gaming PC. Yeah, it's also a much more tech-friendly for the tinkerer. You know what I mean? For somebody that wants to mess around with a device. And they're you know, one's Nintendo, one is PC, so they're much different. But both handhelds, and so they're going to get comparisons. But there you go. This is the last article I have for the day. Unless anybody has anything to add, we're going to finish this article up, then we're going to move into our gameplay for the day, okay? Let me know in chat if you have anything for me. Escape from Tarkov voice actor calls out the game's cheating problem. The cheating situation in Tarkov is just as bad as people are making it out to be. Escape from Tarkov voice actor and content creator 41 has recently released a video calling out cheaters in the game for harassing himself and other streamers. The video, which is titled Cheating in Tarkov, has 41 recalling his struggles with cheaters in the game. He states, "I've been getting stream sniped by cheaters on the regular for about a month and a half as of making this video." 41 mentions that one streamer was banned on Twitch for the aforementioned stream sniping, but that this person isn't the only one and he isn't alone. Stream sniping is an activity where players will join a streamer's multiplayer match and determine their in-game location by watching their live footage, having an unfair advantage on them and essentially ruining the game. He then goes on to note that there is a Discord server of hundreds of users dedicated to stream sniping streamers in Escape from Tarkov and killing them in the game with their cheats. 41 then goes to note how when content creators mention this, the cheaters will go into the streamer's live chat and become a professional victim, going as far as accusing a streamer of jeopardizing their lifestyle because of what they said. "I urge you to take anything a naysayer says in regards to this situation with a massive grain of salt," he continues, sharing the sentiment that the cheating situation in Tarkov is just as bad as people are making it out to be, and that it may be worse than is claimed, with some people not feeling safe streaming the game anymore. The worst! No! What's up, dude? Hey, thanks for stream sniping me, man. What's up, dude? If these cheaters can see your inventory, your name, your level, what else can they see? Your IP address, your login info? It's completely reasonable to be worried about this given the current state of these cheats. He concludes by saying that something needs to be done to change the situation of the game. Yeah. You're okay? Better than not okay, buddy. Better than not okay. That's all I got for today. That's all I got. Lot of news. A lot of news this morning. I tried to get through it as quickly as possible there. Yeah, I mean, look, stream sniping is not something new. And there are... This is... The thing that sucks, dude, is cheaters suck, right? Dude, I hate people that cheat in video games. I really do. It is one of the super tilting things for me in video games. Having people cheat in a game. And look, there's a difference for me as well, right? Absolutely unacceptable to me for somebody to be in a live service, multiplayer game, competitive, and cheating their way through it. That is unacceptable. If you are playing like an old school game, or so like a single player old school game where you want to mess around, or not, it doesn't even have to be old school, like a single player game where you want to mess around and have some fun with, trying out some God mode stuff or whatever, whatever, dude, have your fun. But in a live service, multiplayer, competitive environment, it doesn't even need to be competitive. Just a live service where other people are part of the environment, especially when it's competitive. Though cheating is unacceptable. unacceptable to the fullest. I hate it. I think it's terrible, and I love watching people get caught for it. I love watching like compilation videos of people getting wrecked. I think it's hilarious, and seeing people get banned for it, their Twitch accounts, things like that. I think it's awesome. So when it comes to that, get wrecked. On the side of stream sniping stuff, man, I mean, stream sniping sucks for broadcasters, right? I mean, it's been a thing forever, though. Yeah, lots of people bank on getting caught, but, you know, a lot of people do get caught. A lot of people do get caught. And I think the thing is, to a great extent, that's one of the key things for me. If a developer is going to make a live service competitive game, there needs to be at the forefront of what they're trying to do with that game, incorporated along with gameplay and everything. There needs to be reporting systems, very, very, very good reporting systems in the game to remove people that engage in any kind of discriminatory hate speech kind of stuff, because that's not acceptable. As well as preventing cheating to the greatest extent. So it's ultimately lies on the shoulders of the developer, as you know, and they need to do the best job they can at preventing it. Is it always easy? No, but they need to constantly be on the ball, as it were, in trying to prevent those kinds of things from happening, and because it creates a very toxic, unenjoyable experience for most people that want to play those games. Stream sniping has been a thing forever, dude. And there are things you can do to try and... There are things you can do to make it harder for people to stream sniping. You can put a delay on your stream. It's not always fun. It makes it harder for you to engage with your community. But ultimately, if you're playing competitive games, you can put like a 20, 30 second stream delay on. It prevents people from being able to get to you within competitive games to a greater extent. You can cover up certain things like what server you're, because a lot of times when you load up into certain games, those show what server you're on. You can make sure that you're covering up that kind of information. There are things that you can do, and a lot of games will try to help you out with that kind of thing because they know a lot of people like to stream nowadays. But as far as the cheating goes, unacceptable, man. It really is. People that cheat suck. And, yeah, most people that cheat, they bank on not getting caught. Which is why I love seeing people get roasted. I love it. Because the thing that's funny is they will deny, dude. And it's so funny, too, because most of the time when you see the videos of people online, especially because the videos that are online, like compilations of streamers, broadcasters, stuff that get caught cheating, because especially on Twitch, for sure, it's against terms of service, right? So they'll be cheating, and chat will go, chat will be like questioning people. It's obvious. It's usually pretty obvious when somebody is cheating, and they'll be like, no, man, this is legit. I'm just this good. I am just this good. All right, chat. And then they'll mess up, right? They'll mess up and they'll like alt-tab, but they'll alt-tab in their like cheating software for like a second, and chat will get it, dude. Chat will get it, and they'll get roasted, and Twitch will see it, and then they'll get banned. And even after Twitch chat sees it and be putting them on blast and everything, they're like, no, it wasn't Chiso. I don't know what you guys are talking about. They just sit there and deny. And it's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. I love seeing it. I love seeing people get wrecked for it. The time has come. For what? Gaming? Yeah. I like talking though. If that's what you're talking about. Um. So thanks to everybody who was part of the news segment. We'll be moving on to some Gwent and a little bit of Fall Guys later too. A little bit of Fall Guys. Time has come for what, gamer? Oh, dude, let's go, gamer. Yeah, dude. I definitely think you should. I would say be prepared. Be prepared. Obviously, it's an older game, right? So just be prepared for that. But dude, that hypes me up because that's my favorite game of all time, man. So in my opinion, you can't go wrong there, man. If you're gonna go play a vintage game, an old game, Final Fantasy VII, man, is a good place to go hang out for sure. Anytime anybody's gonna go back and play a game after they've been playing more modern games, you got to kind of prep yourself for a bit of the bad frame rate stuff and blocky characters, bad pixelation, that kind of stuff. But dude, Final Fantasy VII, so good. So yeah, thank you to everybody part of this news segment, everybody that's always part of this community. Thank you. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you very much. We're gonna move on to our gameplay. If you're viewing this news segment as a VOD on YouTube later, and you're enjoying the content, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button for me. And also see what you can do about coming and hanging out with myself and all the rest of the outsiders here in the community when we go live every single day at 6 o'clock a.m. CST, and we start every single stream out with video gaming news before we move on to whatever gameplay we have lined up for us for the rest of the day, okay? Other than that, you guys just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind, and we'll catch everybody tomorrow for July 31st edition of Video Gaming News.